Hello there everybody, it's Krista and welcome back to Crochet Witch Tarot. And for another reason, it's the most wonderful time of the year because it is deck collection video season. Oh my gosh, I get so excited for this time of year because it tends to be the time of year where, not everyone, because, you know, do what you want, but a lot of people take this time to like take stock of their deck collections and just show the whole collection, and I just think it's so fun, and I love doing this every year because it's a good opportunity to just, one, have fun with just the things that I have, and two, really a nice way to take stock, because I am not one who goes through to like intentionally declutter or anything. It's not really a method that works for me. I don't tend to rehome decks often, but I like doing this once a year as a way of like, okay, let's just, again, take stock. Is there something that is sitting here that's not really working for me? So maybe let's move that into kind of like a purgatory type space. So I think we should just get into it because we've got a lot to look at. I do have a rather extensive collection, at least to me. Of course, that definition is different for everybody, but this is definitely going to be broken up into many different parts. So I pulled out all of my decks today, like every single one, broke them up into, of course, Tarot versus Oracle, and then from there went mass market and indie. So my goal is to do each of those in 2 parts. So we're starting out with mass market tarot, and which is probably actually, I think this might be my largest section. Nope, that's a lie. The indie tarot is the largest section. So I don't know. We'll see. It might end up being 3. We're just gonna go with how we feel. But I think we should just get started. So again, like, I don't know. Do I have to give any disclaimers? I don't. Let's just go for it. Heaven and Earth Tarot. This is a new one. So this is also going to be in place of my usual recent acquisition video for the month, because I am showing you my recent acquisitions within this. And this is one of them. I got this after watching one of Thea's videos from Garden Goddess Tarot, and what drew me to this is when Thea showed it, she pointed out how many different symbols are included in this deck, and the symbology of the RWS is something that I am really interested in getting into this year. In general, I have not a goal per se, but just a desire for a study for this next year to be just getting deeper into the original RWS, because I do not currently own a copy of the original RWS. I will. Actually, it'll probably be in my next video because it's literally coming tomorrow. But yeah, I've never really spent the time doing that because it hasn't interested me. And now, all of a sudden, it does. So we're just rolling with it. But I really wanted to check out this one because it's got the elements, the planets, what else is it? There's the Hebrew letter. We'll see. The Deccan? Is the Deccan on here? I don't know. I don't know, actually. We'll see how far we get. I'm starting with elements and planets, because that feels approachable. But also I love the artwork on this deck. It's a whole vibe, right? So, Heaven and Earth Tarot. I shouldn't spend too long on one. We've got a lot to get through. Now, there's also, within these categories, no rhyme or reason to my order here. I was going to try and make it that way, but I think I'm just going to do a separate video showing my, like, top favorites from the year. I don't know, that's what we're rolling with. Oh, also to say that I did not separate out of print decks. So I will try my best to mention it as they come up if I know that they're out of print, but I didn't make them their own category, so if there's something out of print and it was printed mass market, it's gonna be the mass market, so just that to say too. Next up, Tarot. This one is gorgeous. I love this one. I edged it in like a beigey brown kind of color. But I just think this deck is fantastic. It has real kind of earthy breakdown kind of energy. I love using this one year round. I find it fits all year round. Oh, it's just got such a good feel to it. But it does especially work well in the autumn. Like that transition from autumn to winter of things decaying. That's the word I was looking for. It's a real decay type energy, but this is a longtime favorite. I love this deck so much. Tarot. Ooh, sorry. So many things to be grabbing. Alright. Tarot. This one, I believe, is unfortunately now out of print, which is so crazy to me. But I do hope they bring it back, because it is a really, really great one. I really love... I have the tarot, and we'll see in another video, the Lenormand, and I just think that she is a fantastic guidebook writer. I mean, I love it for the art as well, and also the general feel. This is another... Oh, is this Llewellyn or US Games? I don't know, but US Games has a few decks this size as well, where it's a little bit more square, and I love this size of deck, because I can still riffle shuffle it, but I like that it's a bit wider. I don't know why, I just do. Oh, look at that High Priestess. But I really, really love the Anna decks, especially for their guidebooks. I think they're great, but I love the whole feel of this. It somehow feels... at the same time medieval, but modernly relatable at the same time. I don't know, it's very interesting. Like, it both transports me to kind of a fantasy world, but also not. I don't know how to explain that, but I love this one. That is the Anna Tarot. Okay. Next up is the, oh my gosh, am I gonna know the name? I know it. Arthurian. The Arthurian Tarot. Now this is one I'd really like to spend some more time with this year. I was going to do the Hollow Quest last year, but instead ended up following along with the deck and walk that Marlon Teresa was doing, albeit I was very casually following along. That sort of satisfied any desire I could have had for a practice for the year. So this one kind of went to the wayside, kind of really planning that this coming year I'd get into this. And so that is something I still really want to do. So I haven't used this one too much, but I love the artwork. I especially love hearing about Candy Soul and Soil's experience with this deck. It's so magical. And I just can't wait to really get into the Hollow Quest in a similar way. So, Legend of the Arthurian Tarot, I should say. I don't think it's just the Arthurian Tarot, but it's the one you can get right now. Okay, I think this pile we have today is a lot of faves. A lot of faves or new ones. Antique Anatomy. A classic. This is my plain, untouched except to edge it copy, but I do have one that I modded by collaging some book paper and stickers onto it. inspired by the mod that Dawn Michelle did that she does have a video of, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But I love this deck. It's a classic. It's one that really feels very straightforward. It's kind of an interesting one. I feel like I love Claire Goodchild's decks, but they all have this very similar vibe it's like mysterious, where I can't quite pin a personality to it. It almost in a way where it feels like it doesn't want that. It's very interesting, but Antique Anatomy, a great one, going nowhere. Next, we've got the Green Witch Tarot. Another great one. Oh, I know why these are all these are all ones that a lot of them are I just pulled off of my shelf of decks that I'm currently using, so that would be why. Oh, what's happening there? Oh, I must have pulled a reading and then kept them outside. Anyway, I really enjoyed this deck. It's not one I use tons, but when I do, it's always great. It's always great. It feels like one that it doesn't matter how long I've put it down, it feels so familiar every time I pick it back up. Another one with a great guidebook. I really like it, especially for this time of year, and I think it probably is the colors on the back. It just makes me think Yule, but it's really great. I mean, it's got all the seasons, so I love this card. Isn't that so pretty? Green Witch Tarot, a great one. This next one I've been loving a lot recently. I've always liked it, but I feel like this is our year where we are really making that connection. The John Bauer Tarot. To me, this is a Christmas deck. I mean, the backs, yes. I'll use it all winter long though, but especially in the month of December, it just feels really right. Because to me, the whole season of Christmas, Yule, whatever you might celebrate, this time of year feels very Nordic fairy tale. That's just the vibe that fits, and of course this delivers. I love hearing Sandy's stories when she pulls this deck out too, about the Swedish fairy tales and how she grew up hearing about trolls and gnomes. Just so cool, so cool. I love the artwork in here. Oh, probably my favorite card. Isn't that so pretty? But yeah, I really love this one this time of year. Such a good one. John Bauer. Hopefully it doesn't seem like I'm speeding through these, but the point is just to get a glimpse at literally everything I have. So I don't want to linger too long on any one thing. Alright, this one is a new one. It is the mass market copy of the Magicians, Martyrs, and Madmen Tarot. I didn't really think I'd ever end up with this one because when it first was indie on Kickstarter, I don't know why I just wasn't really sold on the subject matter, even though I am a true crime junkie through and through. I love it. I don't know why, something about having a divination tool like themed around that, I don't know, it felt weird to me. But then I got this one when I was away with Andy in Maine. I saw it in the store we went to that we both really liked, and I don't know, I looked it up on my phone and I was like, I think I need to try this. I just felt like I needed to. And it is a shadowy deck for sure. I mean, how could you have a tarot filled with truly magicians, martyrs, and madmen? Why do I feel like the original title had like murderers in it though? Because there are a lot of murderers in here. It's very dark. It's very dark. That I will say. But I have been really enjoying it and really enjoying getting into each of the figures' stories in here. And it almost feels like this interesting thing of like finding the lesson in these people who really just, not all of them, but a lot of the figures in here just really committed some atrocities. And so it's that kind of thing where it's like there's a lesson in there. And to me, I think what I realized is like, okay, well, the same reason I enjoy listening to like true crime podcasts or reading true crime books would be a similar reason for me to like this deck, and that is holding true. So it's new. I haven't quite totally felt it out yet, but it's really interesting. So that is the Magicians, Martyrs, and Madmen Tarot. I thought it really had like murderers in the title the first time. But that could just be so wrong. Alright, this is the Lord of the Rings Tarot. Now this one, I don't know, because, do I have this the right way? No. Now I really like this one. This is the Lord of the Rings Tarot from, oh, what's that brand name? Inside Editions. So it is a pip deck, but I really love the coloring of the deck, and I really like this block art style. But my question is, because now I have another Lord of the Rings themed deck. I have the Hobbit Tarot, which maybe I should grab and we should look at next, because I'm wondering if I really need both. Because I like the Lord of the Rings, but I'm not, you know, like a Lord of the Rings like fanatic per se. It's one of those things where it's not really like a fan base I am deeply into, so do I need two? They're so different though. And I do like the pip style. Like, to me this almost fits a different category because it's a pip deck, but I do have quite a few pip decks that I really like. So that's the question of the day. Do I like this one as much? Oh, look at that card though. How good is that? This could be one that I think, this I think is gonna go into a bit of a, I don't know if I like the word purgatory. It's more like a, I need to think about this, you know? I'm gonna make a bin for that, but let me grab that Hobbit Tarot because I think it's worth a look at right now. Do I have it in my pile already? That would be convenient. I didn't think I did. Oh my gosh, I do. Haha, perfect. So now this one is out of print, but it's from US Games, and I bought it out of print, and if you wait on it, save an eBay search, it will come up for a good price. I've seen it happen multiple times, and I just like didn't want it at the time, but yes. So let's look at this. So this is based on, at least my understanding, is based on the first book, The Hobbit, which is the one I really know the best. So that's my other thinking too. But I really love the art style of this, and I'm just wondering, yeah, even looking at this now, I'm like, I don't know that I need two Lord of the Ring themes tarots. And I really love this one. Isn't the artwork so beautiful? Because I think the thing I'm thinking is, now I liked that one because it was Lord of the Rings and I like the pip style, but I have now a Lord of the Rings deck that I think I like a bit better for representing that subject, and then I have pip decks that I like for being a pip deck better. So I'm thinking, yeah, okay, this is the Hobbit Tarot. This one is a for sure stay, and the other Lord of the Rings Tarot is gonna go into a let's think about it bin. That's what we'll call it. The let's think about it. Okay. Next up, the Jane Austen Tarot. This is my second ever deck. So yeah, it was I had some real uninformed, chaotic first choices, because we started with the Cat Tarot, which is really a bit of a confusing RWS deck, if you ask me. Like, it's really not a clone. And then I went to this, which mixes together playing cards and tarot, so you get like cards combined, and I didn't know what the cards were, so yeah. This is what I tried to learn on. Not super successfully. But now that I know tarot, I love it. I think it's great. I love the artwork. I love the subject matter. This to me is another Christmas deck. Everything about it, I'm just like, it is Christmas. Just is. I also love the cardstock on this deck. I just think it's nice. Oh, look at that quote. So good. So yeah, this is a favorite, and also just a nostalgia thing, you know, because I ordered this one really not long after I ordered the Cat Tarot, or got the Cat Tarot, I should say. I think I got that at who knows, Barnes & Noble, I think? This I ordered, I know. Anyway. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry, that was so loud. Okay. Oh, we're getting to the point where I gotta reach now. I've got piles on the floor. The Touchstone Tarot. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I love this deck. I really do. I think it's just everything. The Cat Blackjacks in general, I am such a huge fan. I love everything she does. Look at that. That's me and Stevie. But I just think this one really has such personality. And when I've talked about it before, it feels like each one is an individual guide almost, because you have this framed figure. So often I will use this like an oracle and just pull one. And I do really love using this in tandem with the Golden Tarot, which I'll show next because it's also in this pile. But that is the Touchstone Tarot, and I do love the backs. I think they're pretty. Okay, next we've got the Golden Tarot. And this is the linen edition. Which is the edition now. I had a original version from Andy. It was Andy's deck that she trimmed. Which was fantastic. Like, I loved the deck even then, but now that I have this linen version, like, this is the copy now, because the cardstock is just so good. But again, I can't go wrong with Cat Black. I love what she does. The collage with all this medieval paintings and tapestry, it has so much personality. And I mean, I was a medieval times and Renaissance kid. That was my interest, always. And Civil War, because obviously. Didn't we all have a Civil War special interest? Anyway, a golden tarot. Oh, another favorite. I love that one. Alright, this one is the Deviant Moon, which I got back into my collection this year. So I had this one and sent it to Sandy because she couldn't decide if she wanted this or the Trionfi della Luna. So I was sending a package anyway, I'm guessing. So I just sent this along so she can make her decision. But I do think she enjoys this one now, and I kind of thought she would. But at that point, I was really like, the Trionfi della Luna was it. Like, I loved that deck, which I still do. But this year, around the Samhain season, Andy and I actually did a study with this deck with the big coffee table book, and it just brought a whole new enjoyment of this deck, so I'm really happy to have this one back. And sometimes I feel like it's nice when things leave the collection and make their way back, because every time that's happened for me, usually it's about like gifting it to a friend, which I never have regrets over because I love sharing the joy in that way, you know? But every time it comes back, usually it's really like really thought out and there's a purpose to me bringing it back in, so it's like there's even more of a bond there. So, Deviant Moon Tarot, a classic. Next up, we've got Tarot of the Hidden Realm. I love this one. This one is not ever going anywhere. I really love how this is a fairy deck, but a very... I mean, come on. Stop it! Are you kidding me? Very, like, in people-y kind of fairy deck. It just feels like how do I explain my feelings around this? It feels like it hits a little bit more close to home, a little bit more personally than my other fairy decks do. My other fairy decks, I find, more feel so like there are fairies coming in to give guidance, where this feels like it more can be speaking directly about me in the reading, if that makes any sort of sense. But I love this deck. The artwork is fantastic and is the same artist, Julia Jeffrey, of this next deck, which is another new one that I have a review copy of. Crazy. The Witch Sister Tarot, which is coming out very soon, I believe. Certainly from the Llewellyn website. I don't know about Amazon, but I cannot recommend this one enough. Since I got it like 2-3 weeks ago now, I haven't been able to put it down. I'm just obsessed with this deck. It is so good. The guidebook is everything. The explanations behind who all these figures are, the inspiration behind the card, it just... oh my gosh, that's one of my favorites. How good is that? It's really amazing. If you're thinking about this deck, and certainly if you like her other deck, the Tarot of the Hidden Realms, you're gonna love this. But if you are interested in Celtic mythology at all, Celtic practices, this is it. Yes, so good. Witch Sister Tarot. Okay. Next we have the Influence of the Angels Tarot, which I think I like. No, I do. The backs are pretty. I like that blue. Sometimes I feel like it could be similar to some things I have, but I think I relate it a lot to the Golden Tarot because it's got that same nice linen cardstock, but it really isn't like it. Is it? Is it? Ugh. Maybe it is. Hold on. Let's look at them side by side for a second. Because I don't find myself reaching for this influence of the angels much, because if I'm picking between the two, I'm gonna pick the Golden Tarot, and they do have a similar vibe, don't they? I think they do. And I'm not really an angel person. Clearly I have the deck. I'm not against them by any means, but I don't specifically work with angel energy. But I do like what I liked about this deck and why I got it is because there is an angel that shows up in each card, and the guidebook kind of gives you it gives like a little, it tells you where the angels are, and there's like a kind of significance to where the angel shows up, and you get an angelic message. So it is really cool in that way. And so I liked that, a bit of that kind of hide and seek energy there. And I liked the presentation of the angel energy in this deck. But it does really have a similar feel. So I don't know. What I have liked using this Influence of the Angels Tarot with is the Mysteries of Mary decks. So I think what I will do is put this one in the Think About It pile and try using the Golden Tarot with those decks and see, because if this does that job well, I don't really feel like I need this one. But it is beautiful. Okay, that was the Influence of the Angels Tarot. We're gonna scooch that one over with the Lord of the Rings. Okay. Oh, we are not doing so bad here. I don't have much left in this pile. All right. Nightmare Before Christmas. Yes. You know, and funny enough, I feel like the Insight Edition decks feel like a category all their own, even though they are all different fandoms. They all feel like together. To me, they all fit the same kind of feel. So interestingly enough, I've had a few Insight Edition decks in the past, and I have ended up rehoming all of them because this one's my favorite. And for some reason, it's not even like necessarily that I am looking to pull out this deck because of Nightmare Before Christmas. It's more so like I get in this mood where I'm like, I want to use an Insight Edition deck. That's what I'm trying to say. And every time, then I'm like, well, then I want the Nightmare Before Christmas one because I love Nightmare Before Christmas. So even though this is totally different from the Lord of the Rings, there's that piece to it as well. Which is interesting, but I love this one. I think they did a fantastic job with this deck. Oh my gosh, that For the World card. It's so good. It's so good. I really do love this one. So that is the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. I think, too, what will be helpful for myself is if I also make a pile for decks I want to be a bit more intentional about using. Now that I'm thinking about this, because I had two in this already, where the Heaven and Earth go along with something I want to do this year, and so does the Arthurian. So I feel like it would be good for me to keep this separate. Because my other point in doing this every year is also like a bit of a reorganization. Redoing how I keep things. Alright. Next we've got the Tarot of Tales, which is a really cool kind of unique deck and how it functions. But I have to say, the jury is still out for me about how I feel about this artwork. I don't think I love it. And that's surprising to me because it's this fairy tale theme, but I don't know. I got this from a video I did with Andy where it was like a blind date type theme, sort of, where basically we were convincing each other to what our next deck buy was going to be. And so this was my pick from that. And what I do like about it is the way the guidebook is structured leads you, if you want to, through a really cool 5-card spread. And I like that it's continuous across the messages for every card. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't really feel drawn to use it, if I'm being honest. And even looking at it right now, I'm not feeling that excited about it. I think this is going to go in the think about it pile. Because I do want to give it some other chances. But I don't know, I think it just fell a little bit flat for me, unfortunately, and I don't really know why. It seems like it should be right up my alley, you know? It really does. So I do want to give this, I mean, any of the decks that are going in that think about it pile really is like a, I want to give them their fair shot and really think about it. So, Tarot of Tales, that is going to go there as well. Alright, next we've got the Fyodor Pavlov. Oh, this is a beauty. We all know and love this one. Again, another US Games on that beautiful Linden cardstock. But I really love everything about this deck. I love the art style, I love the colors, the guidebook. Oh, this might be my favorite card, that Page of Cups. I love the whole feel of this deck. This one comes out a lot for me. No notes. No notes, you know? I think it's great. Ooh, I'm excited about this one. This one, to me, though, feels very January, February. So it is out in my decks to be using right now, but I kind of know. January, February, March is when this one shines. And kind of throughout the spring. But anyway, Fyodor Pavlov Tarot. Next, ooh, another new one. The Yuletide Tarot. And look at this bag. So cute, right? I've been loving this one for the season so far. I love having holiday-specific decks. I really do. And my two that I'm going to want them for are Samhain, which I've got covered, and Yule, which I did not have covered in the tarot sector. But I am so pleased with this one. I think it's really well done. I think the guidebook's great. Really no complaints. I've got no complaints. There's a beautiful like vintage Christmas indie deck out that I saw. Who did I see have it? Amethyst Ascension, I think, just did a walkthrough of it. That one looks so beautiful, but I feel like I've got my Christmas deck covered with this one. I think this one's really good. This is from Llewellyn, came out this year. Look at the backs. It's so pretty. It's just so fun. It really is so fun. I love having the Holly King there. So, that is the Yuletide Tarot. I should edge this one, huh? I think it'd be cool to do it in this, like, frosty green. Or a red. No, not red. Not red. I think definitely green. We'll see. Okay. Next, we've got the Soul Cats, which are never going anywhere. I love this deck. I love this bag I have for it. It matches so well. And I really like the green. I edged it in. Something about that just makes me so happy every time I pull it out. But this one is my cat deck. Stevie has her own 2-deck collection consisting of the Cat Tarot and that Tarot for Cats Major Arcana Andy got me. So then when it comes to a cat tarot to use for myself, it's this one. Because this one doesn't feel like real, like, house cat energy to me like the other two do. It's much more mystical, getting into that kind of mystical idea of cats. And I love it for that. And it's Adam Oehler's artwork. Lisa Robertson does the guidebook, which is amazing. I love this one. I love this one so much. Soul Cats Tarot. Next up, the Faerie Tarot. This is another one of those US game ones that I love the size of. The size and cardstock on this one is the best. It's this little square size with a nice thin cardstock. It's easy to shuffle. And I love this tarot. I really do. I don't know who originally had this idea. Maybe it was... I feel like it was Andy. I don't know. But saying, because I was trying to desperately use this one in the summer because I was like, bright colors, fairies, it just felt like a summertime fairy deck. But no, that is not where it is slotted in for me. It is, these fairies to me are house fairies. And I don't know why, it's something about the art style that, and maybe that they're a little bit, again, more like humanoid. They look like what house fairies would be, which has slotted them into very much like the fall, winter time, and I'm having so much fun using it right now to get that house fairy kind of message. It's definitely Andy that said that. It was Andy, because she showed it in her like current vibe decks for the winter. Anyway, I love this one. What is it? Oh, I know what I'm getting confused about because I was introduced to this deck originally by Sandy, who also loves this deck. Look at that, how beautiful. So yeah, now that it has especially been like, I've cracked the code as to what the use is for me, I've really especially been loving this one. That is the Faerie Tarot. Okay, we've got 3 more to talk about today, and then we'll take a pause and do the rest of the mass market tarot the next time. But let's start these last 3 with a tried and true Forest of Enchantment. Of course, never ever ever going anywhere. Oh my gosh, and look who's right on top. It's my guy. He always comes up for me. I love this deck. I did a whole study with this one this year too. It was a guided journey that I have a whole playlist if you also would like to follow along with it. See what I did in that practice. It's a whole video series I have here. But I had so much fun with it, really connected with this deck even more. It was just so magical. And just a practice that I know, like, anytime I'm having that kind of lost feeling, I'll return to, whether it's doing the whole practice again or just aspects of it. It's just something that really feels helpful for that kind of feeling. So, a total favorite. Forest of Enchantment. Next is the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. I love this one. I love this one. And I feel like especially this year again, like I definitely started really connecting with it when I got it last year, but having it out again for the winter time, it just feels like I'm connecting even more with this one. I really, really love it. I get excited to pull this one out. I think that's what it is. It feels magical every time, and there's not ever a point where I'm like, I feel like I'm reaching for it being like, ooh, I haven't used this one in a while, like I should. It's always a, oh my gosh, let's use the Intuitive Night Goddess. That would be exciting. You know, I just think it's great. It's so beautiful. So, that is that. Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. Wow, we really got through a lot of decks. A lot of decks today. So, last but not least for this round, we've got the Tarot Grand Luxe by Ciro Marchetti. This is the one Ciro deck I have now, but I do want to get the, the one that is indie right now in the, like, sepia, it's the muted one, it's in the sepia tone. What's the name of that? I can't think of it, but it's indie right now. I think you can still buy it indie, but it is coming out mass market. I want it from Llewellyn, I want to say in, like, March. And I really want to get a copy of that, because I think that's the other Ciro deck I could see myself really liking, but I do love this one. I feel like, it's so funny, because I feel like all the Ciro Marchetti decks feel like same but different. They all do have a unique personality, yet somehow feel slightly the same. Where it's that kind of thing where I feel like everyone can find their Ciro Marchetti deck. And I feel like when you ask people, at least that have tried Ciro Marchetti decks, I feel like everyone has like a strong, like, oh, this is the one I really like. Which I think is so fun. I love, it's almost like a personality test. Which Ciro deck are you? Right now, I'm the Tarot Grand Luxe. I think it's great. I think it was Thea to describe this as, like, real, what'd she say, like, tarot-y tarot almost? Like, that real kind of cheesy fortune-tellery in the best kind of way, and that totally is where it lands. I love this one. So, that is the Tarot Grand Luxe, and that, my friends, is the last mass market tarot deck I have to show for today, but I'll be back again very soon with the second half of this, and now I'm confident these can all get done in 2 halves, because I think that was like 40 decks right there, question mark? I don't know, we can do it though. So, I'll see you again soon.